person of interest is ready for us this morning. John Mututho, Nakada boss, finally made it. Welcome, sir.
Thank you.
It's good to see you. This traffic. We need to get you a chopper.
Thank you. No, I don't need those.
You don't need one.
I think I better get a bicycle. It's much.
A bicycle.
So that I remain fit and avoid what I've seen a couple of minutes ago.
Yeah.
Diabetes, hypertension will kill you.
Yeah. True. Bicycle would work best, James.
Absolutely. Yes, ready to have a discussion with the chairman in the next 20 minutes. But first, for years, alcoholism has been the center of discussion in homes and workplaces as it has broken marriages, led to lack of productivity, and even loss of jobs. Now, here's the story of Joseph Kiare, a Kangundo Law Court prosecutor, who may be an example of how alcohol can be abused, leading to sloppiness at a place of work.
Step by step, Joseph Kiare staggers along at his workplace, the Kangundo Law Courts, where he claims that he has worked too long for anyone to interfere.
Kasi nimefanya 30 years, Is for the first time,
Joseph is a prosecutor, but his appearance in court this day only served to lend credence to the complaints of those he serves. They say he is too intoxicated to carry out his duties as required. What's more, they claim that this is his usual state.
Asubuhi ya leo nimefika katika Kangundo Law Court na tumekutana na huyo bwana prosecutor bwana Kiarie, na amekuwa mlevi. Hata akionjiwa na waandishi wa habari alikuwa akiwaambia yeye ni mwanaume na yeye ameumbika ni mwanaume tosha.
And when Joseph is confronted,
I'm here.
Yeah.
Had some man brown,
The residents stormed the law courts, delaying proceedings for a few hours while Joseph gracefully walked home. The residents are urging the Director of Public Prosecutions, Keriako Tobiko, to immediately step in to deal with the errant prosecutor.
Kama ndio wafanyikazi ameweka kwa judiciary, aondoe. Na wale wengine pia walevi waondolewa mara moja. Na tunauliza DCIO na pia gavana wetu bwana Mututho. Hiyo maneno angalia mara moja.
And you cannot teach an old dog tricks,
Ian Wafula, KTN.
Well, you cannot teach an old dog
new tricks, yes. But I want to teach this one.
Yeah.
I want to tell employers that they should be very observant to their workers. Alcoholism can be treated in one way or another. So whether it's government or KTN or anybody, please observe your workers. You can be hit by alcoholism at any age, irrespective of your status in life or whatever it is. So what we have seen there is perhaps a lack of comprehensive policy within the employment in both government and private sector to identify cases like this one so that they can be treated early enough and then they're put back to production.
But Chairman, do you have an alcoholism problem in this country or just...
We have a serious alcoholic problem. Really serious problem. I mean, this, how do I put it? We just pretend we don't, but you need to go to the popular joints, and now with alcohol brew, you find that moving those joints to residential areas. We are consuming about 3/4 of all the alcohol consumed in East Africa. Yes, yet we are about 35% by population. So we have a very big problem. What is even compounds Kenyan problem is that we have people here now taking advantage of that to give people what is not fit for human consumption. Things like methanol, high concentration of ethanol, and all those things meant for detergents. Really, nowhere else in the world do human beings attempt to consume those products. But in Kenya, because people want to make quick bucks, they have now tended to poison people en masse and taking alcohol to an extent that because of that, you find that even our neighbors like Uganda and Tanzania are now bringing in their staff here. But the stuff they bring here as which would be very pure in their countries is not very clean when it is here. It's a fact. So that you find I'm just don't want to mention the brand names, but if you look at that, what they have there and what we have here is completely different.
Two different things. Chairman, so many months on after your appointment, so many issues initially. Are you losing this fight?
No. In fact, I'm gaining ground now.
How?
I'm doing very well, in the sense that from next week, possibly next week or maybe end of the week, you are going to see the notices up now that all manufacturers of alcohol, whoever you are, no matter how big or small you are, you must present your samples for clear and serious analysis. It's a voluntary exercise, but already we have sampled over 560 products. We have them already. So we just want to see whether you show up to tell us that you actually are promoting for sale and for consumption this particular brand of alcohol. That is a very, very big step towards improving the situation we have in Kenya. That does not spare anybody, whether you are a major manufacturer or a small manufacturer. And we are doing it in collaboration with all the agencies, all the government agencies. We are doing it with the Kenya Revenue Authority. We are doing it with public health. We are doing it with the KEBS. We are doing it with the police. And in the background, we have also the government chemists and other laboratories which are giving us a backup. At that point, then, it will be possible for a Kenyan to sit in the morning like this, and start to have a beer. And you'll be sure that the beer you are having is of a particular quality. That's a major one. Number two, NACADA is all about campaign. There is nobody, even the lunatics, who are drunkards and alcoholics, who does not know the name Mututho. That's a campaign. And when we come like we do, and right now, like this weekend, I'm visiting an area I will not disclose here, but I'm certainly going to hit in certain area. When we go there, we do it conclusively. There are many things that never come to the media, like my communication with the Interior, particularly the PS, Mr. Iringo. We're exchanging notes within very short intervals. And people are given specific instructions, go and do X, Y, Z, go and do this. And I thank the Kenyans who have been able to volunteer information, which is normally very accurate. And so if I look myself, what I did between 2009, 2010, and 2010 when I was very active, and what I'm doing now, I'm satisfied with my job.
You don't think this job is making you unpopular? You know, in a sense, you lost your seat possibly because of this fight.
Popularity is good for teenagers who are looking for husbands and wives, but for guys like us, we want to see people alive. Popularity is no longer an issue. And after all, I was number one debater for 2 years in the 10th Parliament. Nobody disputes that. I was a power of chairman of the Committee of Agriculture. I was behind elevation of 155 statutes. I was voted out. Popularity with the people does not mean that you are working very hard. I was voted out because of my stand on alcohol. So, to me, it's a celebration. So I don't wish any popularity. It's not a popularity. It's a question of seeing the many good people, the many intelligent Kenyans not injuring their brain. Like you were saying, the prosecutor. My mission is to make sure that we have as many people live normal life and productive life as possible. But popularity, that one I live for others. You have seen me in my other. And by the way, who told you I'm not popular? I'm the most popular man among the ladies, particularly, and the men who don't drink and who want to be sober and who perform. I'm also very popular, but I'm very, very unpopular with the guys who don't even know the names of their wives, full names of their wives, and forget about other things. I accept.
So, Chairman, what is the end game in this fight, towards alcoholism?
It's not the end game. We're not going to have the phase 2 of the game. You have the alcohol. Now you'll see NACADA in the streets also do what they are empowered to do. They will also test you for drugs instantly. We are doing the legislative mechanism, legislative framework that will enable, at the point where you're having the alcohol, if you test positive, we do a further test on your saliva only, and with very sensitive equipment, we'll be able to detect whether you're on cocaine, heroin, marijuana, and all these kind of things. And that is the start of either a very long process or a short process. A very long process, if you decide to deny and come all that, then we'll not challenge you because you have to go for full tests. And then now we can start the legal process. A short process, if you admit your problem, just like the prosecutor, You can work with the government and then you go through rehabilitation process and then we save you and your family to go towards the right direction. But I'm warning those people who, truck drivers particularly, are targeting you. You have been enjoying it. You come stop at Morongo, we see you every day. You chew all the miraa, tens of kilos of miraa. Then you have a concoction of Viagra powder. Then after that one, you have some sleeping pills. You look like a beast. You are not a driver. If we catch you, it's going to be a very, very rough thing for you. Let me tell you.
Chairman, I must ask you this. For the Kenyans and people who think and see, Mututho is just a distraction. He just wants to make noise and looking for, making all manner of, announcements and promotions. They are there trying to stop people having their fun.
First and foremost, appreciate that Mututho law came in exactly 103 years after 17th of August 1907, when the first legico, that is the first parliament by Makaburu, the colonialist, sat at the railway school, 7 people, and tried to make the second law in Kenya, which was alcohol law. They did not succeed until the 13th of August 2010, when the retired President Mwai Kibaki signed into law the Mututho laws. So it's an achievement after 103 years of trial. It's not just another pushover. Mututho laws were presented in 2009 in Ukraine. They didn't have a fight at that time, and all the scientists and legal people were there, and was proven to be the best piece of legislature at that particular time. It works on 3 cardinal pillars, and which are properly and cleverly integrated. Forget about the argument, the legal suits that started when this thing came to force, and all coming from Murang'a. And I like Murang'a people, that's why we're going to do the campaign next. The 39, not from any other part of Kenya, but from Murang'a. And where I'm told in one place, and I'll name the place, I'm not just making noise. A school that used to have 6 streams, now there's 1 stream running, and that one is about to cross, so that you have no school altogether. That's where the challenge came. It did not come from Kisumu, did not come from the coast, it did not come from Nairobi. It came from the victims themselves. So what I'm saying is, Mututho does not just make noise. I'm not the retired President Kaunda who went in public and removed a white handkerchief, started crying because of alcoholism in Zambia. I act. There's no need of sulking. You act. I'm telling you now, if you're a truck driver, watch it. The day you see Nakada, Administration Police Nakada, the day you see Kenya Police Nakada, now better be sober, because those people will have gadgets there to instantly detect how much heroin, how much cocaine, how much miraa, how much everything you have taken in your blood. And if you are not fit to be on the highway, and if you still intend to go on killing and maiming more Kenyans, your day will be over.
I must ask you this, Mututho, because one wonders, why do you get all this passion, for fighting, alcoholism? Did you used to drink?
No, I've never drunk.
So why are you fighting?
I'm not fighting. I'm one person, and it's good to appreciate. Kenya government, I'm educated on public funds for 21 years to many universities. I've been to over 70 countries. Out of that, over 40 countries at a government expense, a taxpayer's expense. I'm immensely trained. Now, what do you do with that training? Do you sit down and become a comedian in your own home? You give back to the society. Now they are talking about salaries. You have not heard Mututho talk about salaries because it's not relevant here to me. Because the chairman of Parastatal earns 80,000. They recover 30% taxes plus other little things and so forth and so on. So I take home 62, 67,000. That's good money. If I join the other people, let them also recover 10, 20% on that one. That's a good idea. Then we have about 50,000. That's good. That's healthy. You cannot all chase money, and end of the day, you don't have even any money to chase because the police is chaotic, the insecurity, the road carnage, the many people. You need to go to the Valley Provincial General Hospital, as it were. I've been there recently. You see people dying. You need to go in the streets, see hungry faces. You need to walk and count how many graduates are in the streets this morning and cannot get employment because the private sector is unable to accommodate that. When we have unsafe streets, then tourism will not pick. If tourism does not pick, then you cannot have employment. Then you have the coax who are importing all manner of agricultural products. You heard about the Kitale issue. You heard about GMO before. All that now ruins agricultural base that we endure. Again, that one comes back and backfires to the society. We are very educated a lot, but where is the work? No work. And that brings me to what I want to do, rehabilitation. You create rehabilitation that has and will end up with a special training on entrepreneurship and creating a facility where you can buy yourself a wheelbarrow, you can buy a power saw, you can buy yourself a camera if you are in media like yourself, you can buy yourself a printer or a computer, so that as a young man you don't have to sit. We adopt what made China. China was made by a shift in policy, two policies. One, a shift from the chairman Mao's belief that being rich is bad to being rich is glorious. Number two was to a policy which was very seriously advocated, that it's more honorable to work for 10 cents than to just sit at home there making noise. Even if you have a PhD, work for 10 cents. It's much better. That's why I find in Beijing, there are no people in the streets who are walking around. You are supposed to be working and doing something. That is the way to go. But you cannot work if you are not sober. So my work is to make sure you are sober like you are this morning. But
always sober. Always sober. Yeah, we have to make that correction. Yeah. But Chairman, just as we wind up, since we're running out of time, after the end of your term, you've done all the things that you want to do. What do you want to see in this country? What is your vision that you want to see? Everybody like you. Look at your eyes. If the cameras can focus on your eyes. Focused. A man who knows what he's talking about. A man who is understanding. Now, supposing you have just woken up from a nightclub. You can't even recall whether you are dressed in purple or red, or whether you're in the studio or not. You'll be like the prosecutor in Kangaroo. So if I wake up and everybody was as sober as you, or as your colleagues here, then I've achieved what I tried for life. So Sophia had an input on that. Sophia, are you sober this morning, Sophia?
Yeah, you look at her eyes. It looks good.
Of course I am. No, but you know what is interesting? It's how you said yes. No, but I had a quick question.
Yes.
Maybe the breathalyzers, the alcohol blow. We're seeing quite a number of them on the roads now. Issues that had arisen from those with some people is whether really the intention is being met, and especially the in terms of hygiene. You know, initially they would not change the part in which one would use to exhale, but also articles have been written by some experts who argue that even at the end of the day, even if you change that the part that goes into your mouth, it's still not quite very hygienic.
Those are fairly academic arguments. No one has come up with any particular case or suspicion in hospital or in a lab that these alcohol brews don't work, either here, overseas, or anywhere on earth.
Yeah.
That particular brand of alcohol brew is very civilized. You are brewing out. And if you have seen, you get that straw and it is properly sealed. You breathe in or pretend you don't want to breathe in or out. You stay for a few minutes. And when you blow out through that system, just like I'm breathing out now, it records and registers what you have. Truly is a masterpiece by itself.
But some people are high. Instead of blowing out, they breathe in, they take in the fumes which were in there before and now, and they're told, no, this is a blowout. They blow out what was inside. Those are some of the arguments that have been made. But are you happy with its progress?
Let's look at yourself as a resident of Nairobi.
Yes.
Did you know that the air you breathe in Lavington, in other places, is all blown from the dollar dump, and you have all those pores and the other things? What are the chances that you have those microbes coming to you? The really is almost not there.
Okay.
But it's a possibility. But the bad news is that we have a board meeting later today, and later I go to address one of the universities, Kenyatta University, today, later. And the bad news is that NACADA is considering, first of all, the alcohol blows are by another department.
Yes.
But NACADA is thinking of pulling all the resources they have and bring in 200 new ones. slightly more sophisticated and more than what you are having now,
Yeah.
and have it implemented by the police. That is would be very good news for the motorists, and extremely bad news for even people in Kisumu, Mombasa, Nakuru, all the highways. Let us have a sober society.
Okay.
All right, Chairman, is there a chance, final question, chance for you to take this message to the leadership and the people in this country who are holding serious offices?
Yes, be sober. Let's take decisions that are going to help the youth. Let us take decisions not necessarily led by emotions or anything, and let's do our job the way we are all hired to do. If you are a prosecutor, don't be like that one. If you are working for Nakada, work like John Mututho. You know, I have to also praise myself, because in a situation like this, when men don't like me, I have to come to mind. Have a good day.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you
Always
very
a pleasure.
much.
Thank you, James.
And in fact, the chairman said he's popular amongst most women who do not want to see their men taking all this alcohol. And the goods, not that they're bad, the ones who take, but controllably. It is that time we bring the show to a close, 8:55.